welcome everyone to this week's Skippy Track Guide at Belle Isle in Detroit. Yes, normally a IndyCar track I believe, but we have the Skippies around here. Very, very fun track, very difficult to get right. The walls, or the concrete posts as they were, big concrete girders and barriers there, very easy to hit, which is a huge pain in the rear. A couple of massive curbs. So yeah, definitely a tricky track to get right. So let's get on with it. Let's show you the track temperature, just in case you guys have different times. Could be down to track temperature, so 96 Fahrenheit for me. Setup will be in the description below, and I'll have to get rid of this because the lap time is down here, a 1:43.64. Did come pretty close to it again further on in the session, and but with traffic and so forth, and I did graze the walls a few times. I only counted as a 0x, but I came very close to this one but didn't get anything. So let's crack on and get into the guide. Right then, start finish straight. The start finish is quite close to turn 1, so should be okay at the start. No one slipstreaming past. It is going to be an overtaking opportunity. Braking point is this change in tarmac color, or concrete color I should say. We're changing down to 4th, rolling it in, try to get a mid to late apex if we can. We want to stay as far right as we possibly can to maximize turn 2. That's the important one. That's the one that leads onto the straight. Turn 2 is directly on top of you, and you want to miss the curb here. I found it just pushed the car wide, which as you can see coming around, there's a nice concrete wall waiting for you. We kind of go over crest, and you kind of want to be mid-track at the crest. That's sort of an indication for me that I'm not going to hit the wall. Got a relatively long straight here. I'm pretty sure it's the longest straight on the track, as the start-finish straight is probably longer, but it has got quite an interesting kink in it. So yeah, try and minimize track distance here and watch out for people slipstreaming you. Turn 3 is very tight, and yeah, you're going to get some people dive bombing you. There's not much exit space. There's like a little slither of grass that can give you maybe one car's width. Just as the boards are coming into focus, we are trying to spot for the 300 mark. The track seems to be not very grippy. Braking distance seems to be a bit longer. So here's a 300 board here. Braking just before it if you're feeling brave, at it or slightly after it, but be very careful about locking up. You do have a runoff straight ahead, but you're just going to lose loads of time. Down into second, we can nick a little bit of this inside curb. I haven't found that there's an off track there yet, but that's as much as I want to cut that. Little straight here, if you do get a good run out of turn 3, you might be able to cheek one up the inside into turn 4. Turn 4 is very awkward again. It's one of these corners you don't run a one ride because there is a concrete barrier there again. Braking point is these boards. Furthest right you can see the white Lear sign. As soon as I can see that around the corner, that's one braking point. We do nick a little bit of curb. That's probably as much as you want to take. There is an off track and a slowdown if you cut that any further, and this is where you don't want to run wide on the left because there's a concrete barrier waiting for you there straight away. Turn 5, left hand, 90 degrees. There is a little angle change in the wall right here, and that's my braking point. So straight line it next to the wall, down into second, roll the car in, try and get on throttle quite early. I found the Skippy does like oversteering at apex. Avoid the curve again, just pushes you wide, and that's really bad here because the wall on the right actually comes into you as you're on exit. So really helpful, thanks track designers. But they do these things to test us. So braking point for turn 6 is these boards on the right. As they get next to my car, I'm turning in down into second again, and this corner invites you to turn in early. Don't do that, you will rip off a front tire. So be very cautious around there. I can get a little bit close to the wall, but I want to give it a little bit of leeway just in case. This is where we get really close to the outside wall. Not through lack of grip or anything, just try unrolling the steering too early. So just be mindful of that. You guys will hear the cockpit at full speed, and there's no bangs or anything. So we did miss it, which is a huge bonus. It just caused you front wing and steering damage and a whole other rascal like that. The straight here, it's kind of not a straight, two kind of long sweeping curves, but it is full throttle. I avoid going right to the barrier there. It's got some really weird bumps on it. Not sure what's going on there, but yeah, I just stay away from it. Avoid any damage, avoid any loss of control. Make your life simple. We stay right hand side, and this is because as the track's turning left, it actually straightens up, and it straightens up in the braking zone. So we want our wheels straight before we brake. So this is where I'm setting it up now. Braking point is just before the 300 board, and look at that, we're dead straight with the wall, and that's what we want, and that's what we're setting up on that straight. Down into second gear, this curb's quite nice. We can nick a good chunk of this. It doesn't unsettle the car too much, and we're back on the throttle as soon as we can. I never found running too far to the left to be that much beneficial for track time. But then we are back into this little cheeky corner, and the wall juts out and then opened up. So that's our braking point for this. I'm toying with the fact of staying in second through that little straight, or up into third and then down to second. Entirely what you feel comfortable with there. It's purely personal preference. So turn 8 is one of the tightest corners on the track, so be warned, watch the inside curb. This is another really tricky one. People go massively out wide, and I kind of think you just, elongating the track unnecessarily. So we kind of double apex this. This is turn 9. So we apex the first one, and then we want to hit this curb again, but not hit it, so get close to it. We change down into second to make our lives easier for turn 11. And this is our braking point for turn 11. We're not going very quickly anyway, so we're gently on the brakes, down in the first gear, dodge that nose cone that's on the floor there. And again, you can see how vicious this curb is. So you want to get close to it, but not touch it. You want a really good exit here. That is, again, one of the slowest corners on the track. So good drive out of there. It's very bumpy as well. So be careful. Try to straight line the car on corner exit. So another little straight here. And it's not really an overtaking opportunity. The longer straights are going to be for that. This will be an opportunity to get right on someone's wing, because the next two corners are relatively fast right-handers, and they lead onto the start-finish straight. So up into fourth gear, we're looking for the 200 board, which is right here, and we're braking just down into third gear, and we're just rolling it in about the 150 mark, and we're just balancing the car. Again, avoid the curb, only pushes you wide. We do nick a little bit of it, but it's not too bad. And I always leave a little bit of room on the left hand side here. I don't take that corner full pelt because I want to focus on this one. I want to be full throttle through this one if I can. You can see on this lap I actually failed. I'm about 80% throttle, so this is the corner that I think we should focus on rather than turn 12. It turns out to be 13 is more important, so let's focus on that one. So we're back on the start finish straight now, and this is the little kink I was on about earlier. You can go too wide through it. Just be very cautious because it does narrow where we are back on the start finish track again, and you'll see the barrier just on apex. It kind of fools you and it juts out a little bit because there's like a service road there, so be warned about that one. Just don't get too close to the walls. Give them, there we go, just there, just give them a little bit of leeway, give them a little bit of respect, and they should be fine about not killing you. So that is us coming across the line now, and you'll see the track time as we cross the line, 1:43.641, which will put me second in this lobby. It wasn't too bad, so anywhere in the 44s will be a decent lap time. 45s will definitely be up there as well. This one is a survival circuit. As long as you keep it out the walls, keep it safe, you're going to finish quite well. We're going to have a lot of carnage here this week. Nice of them to put Montreal and this one right on top of each other. My safety rating is not going to like this very much, but anyway, stay safe on the track, finish the race, and you'll finish well. That's my number one advice here. And the cockpit cam and chase cam at full speed are to follow, so I hope that helps. Let me know what you guys get up to this week, and I will catch you on the next one. Cheers guys, bye bye.